NewGenGamers.com.
As we had shown you in Sonic 3.
And again, Sonic started to get tired at this time. Sonic 3 was rough and just kind of left everyone going, well, it's Sonic, it's okay, but...
Yeah, this one they upped the difficulty again, and they threw in Knuckles and added that lock-on technology.
Yeah, Knuckles became a playable character, and what made this significant was that it essentially added a new playable character to Sonic 1, 2, and 3. Just like the...
No, it didn't work on the first one. For some reason, they couldn't get the code to work on the first one.
Oh, okay. The device itself worked much like Codemaster's Game Genie, where it would alter the game program, and so it would add the Knuckles character to the existing games. And so basically it added new content to games that were already out. And I think Sega looked at this technology and for some reason thought it was really great and really a way to go, and it's what they did with the Sega 32X.
Yeah, the 32X was kind of the ultimate in the lock-on technology.
And perhaps not ironically, the last time we would see that technology in use, I think.
Yeah. The thing about the 32X was that they took the lock-on thing a little far.
Yeah, and essentially tried making an entire system out of it that was just poorly thought out. And check out our Console Wars of the Past on the 32X to get the full story on that debacle that really in the end hurt Sega way more than it helped them in any way, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely a failure for them, and so that kind of came from this.
Now, we're going to take a little quick look here at the other Sonic games working in this, so just give us a moment and we'll switch it out here for you. Hopefully the lock-on technology works. Alright everyone, here's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright everyone, here's Knuckles in Sonic 3. Now some of the additions they had to it was that Knuckles could climb walls, so that's one of the reasons that I think that this game was actually designed more for Knuckles.
Yeah, we looked at this level with Sonic earlier, so here it is with Knuckles, and so there you see he climbs a wall there, and you don't get Tails with you, and it also yeah, it pretty much is the exact same game, only with Knuckles, with hidden stuff in areas that only Knuckles could reach. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if the stuff was in the actual original code or what, but I think with Sonic 3, it was designed with Knuckles in mind, but Sonic 2, everything that was added was after the fact. Yeah. So they didn't actually go back and redo Sonic 2. It was just added from the lock-on cartridge. Yeah, it basically hacked the game, and I mean that's basically what the Sonic and Knuckles lock-on cart was a hack for the other Sonic games. And so it was kind of interesting that they released that, and there wasn't anything else I can think of on the home systems like that, games that function that way. Yeah, that was the only one I've ever seen. And, it would only work with a series like that, or, you know, I mean, it worked great with the Game Genie, but
Especially stuff that had pretty much the same engine, so they wouldn't have to do too much to hack it.
so there you see
Knuckles in
Knuckles.
Sonic 3.
Yeah, you know, he's essentially the same character, just with, you know, a few different moves, and it gives the game a little bit of replayability and different ways to play through it.
Another way for them to keep the Genesis alive. Sega kept doing that.
Yeah, this was when things were starting to dry up, and they were starting to really get beaten by Nintendo overall.
So they had to come up with some new ideas, and this just happened to be one of them, you know? So, that's Knuckles in Sonic 3. Alright, we're going to take a quick look here at Comic Zone. This was an interesting one. You're basically a comic book writer who falls into his own comic book.
Now, this was created by Sega Technical Institute, which Sega created as a development house that was comprised of students looking to get into the game industry. So, you know, you see the fresh idea that young people bring, kind of a stylized premise behind the game.
And it was a very edgy title too. They went for that kind of that dark feel of what comic books were back in those days.
Yeah, the game is essentially just a beat 'em up, but with the way the levels are laid out through the comic book panes and just how it progresses, it definitely feels like a different type of title.
Yeah, just for the way it's laid out, it doesn't feel linear. See ya. And see how it does. And here's your buddy the rat.
And so you have some interactive backgrounds and
Oops.
More interaction than a lot of the other beat 'em ups of the time. You know, they were essentially just follow the level and move on after you kill everyone. This one has some different things. You got to switch there. You know, the backgrounds change and move around, and just a really cool design for this game.
Yeah, it's definitely got its own feel to it, and it's an interesting title you should check out. And see, they add even. It seems like everything in it's mostly interactive.
Yeah, they definitely made it kind of a cool, almost action game with so much stuff that you can do. And we never saw any sequels to this or anything else, so
it's really a unique title.
Yeah, and we really didn't see much more out of Sega Technical Institute, so you know, this was kind of a I guess kind of a one-hit wonder type thing that is one of those great titles that you know, probably a lot of people missed, but is still cool and still holds up.
Yeah, this one it's definitely got some good replay to it.
This was also available on PC, and that's something we haven't talked about.
Oh, Sega's PC library.
Yeah, Sega was selling their games on their home systems, but they were also porting a lot of them to Windows computers, especially during the Windows 95 era. So you saw a lot of their stuff on the PC as well. The same titles ported over. So that's Comic Zone. Definitely check it out if you want to check out a not run-of-the-mill action game.
Oh yeah, definitely check this out. I recommend it to anybody.
Hand me the sacred spice, Lieutenant.
Take it, but leave my ultravision goggles. I cannot survive without them.
So you want to live in a comic book.
Greetings, puny mortals.
Welcome to the Comic Zone. Slave fiendish villains that get drawn back in page by page. You'll feel right at home.
From the darkness of the oven, the slain beast.
We will live another day.
Comic Zone, only for Sega Genesis.
Sega!
Comic Zone game cartridge and Sega Genesis, each sold separately.
NewGenGamers.com.